Yo, what's up, horror fam? This is your boy Willie Mae with Yep That's Scary and a proud member of Atlanta Horror Society. Yes, I am here for a wonderful exclusive interview that we have today. And look, I'm so excited to have this amazing creator, amazing horror legend icon in the studio today. But again, I'm so proud to be at Atlanta Horror Society, and let me tell you, we got a very special lineup for you tonight. I am thrilled to welcome you to this exclusive interview with one and only John Massari. Come on now, the brilliant composer behind the iconic sounds of Killer Klowns from Outer Space. And the word on the street is John got something exclusive to share with all of us tonight here. And so if you are here at the Plaza Theater in the seats, let me tell you, you're in for a big surprise. Tonight's special, extra special, because we're celebrating the Atlanta Horror Society's birthday. That's right. Make some noise and make some screams for, if you love horror, if you love celebrating horror with me, make some noise. Yes, let's celebrate Atlanta Horror Society. Let's send them some love. It's their 1 year anniversary. They're turning 1 today. And a huge shout out to Shannon and the whole AHS crew for giving all us weird, dark, and morbid souls a space to connect, to share, and celebrate what we love most. Your dedication is truly appreciated, Shannon and the AHS crew. Happy birthday, Atlanta Horror Society. Woo! Let's go. Think you've got the shine. Take on the Room 237 challenge and uncover hidden clues throughout Mambo Zombie for a chance to win a bloody prize pack straight out of the Overlook Hotel. Show up dressed as your favorite shining character. The twins, Jack, Wendy, Danny, and even Lloyd, the bartender, for our best dressed at the Overlook Prize. Okay, so you guys get that together. If you are a big Shining movie buff, you want to come here. We have great trivia for you happening on May the 29th. Mark your calendars for that. Then we have one of my scariest movies when I am swimming in the ocean, because it's Jaws. Let's go. Look, June meetup is Shark Week Survival Night. All right, so June 26th, which is a Thursday at 8 p.m. at Mambo Zombie. Get ready to prove if you're an apex predator or of horror trivia. Join us for Shark Week Survival Night. Swim fast, answer faster, and you might just win our Shark of the Week kit. You guys come on out for that. Have a good time. And then, and if you are new here and you're like, I'm going to see Killer Klowns from Outer Space, and you're like, what is this Atlanta Horror Society? Let me tell you, it is our meet and greet, our Atlanta Horror social gathering. And I want you to take out your phones right now. Take out your phones right now. You, sir, that's standing up. Take out your phones and scan this barcode. Scan the barcode right now and follow us, like and share everything that is Atlanta Horror Society. Tell your friends about us. We want to build a horror community with you. And let me tell you, your boy over here at Yep That's Scary is giving away a Ginny Houdini signed 8x10 of Chubby. Yes, tonight you can win this. Because number one, you purchase a ticket to the Plaza Theater to watch Killer Klowns. So you're halfway there. Scan that barcode and sign up and submit yourself to win this 8x10 of Chubby. And it's all authenticated, ready to go. We're giving this away tonight. Yeah, baby. And now we got John Massari in the studios. He's here. We got him coming up. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together because we can hear you out there for John Massari. What's up, John? Woo! Look, this just came in the mail.
That is nice.
Yes.
That is really nice.
What do you think about our giveaway with Chubby?
That is very cool. That is very, very cool. Now, who signed that?
That is Genie Houdini,
Oh,
the
that's
guy who
cool.
played Chubby. Yeah.
Oh man, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and it's authenticated and everything. And we're giving this away
Yeah,
tonight.
that's
Yeah.
amazing. That's amazing.
So let's talk, John. It's been a minute since we've been together and we chatted, but we've been friends for a minute now.
Hmm.
And
Well, I think we talked in 2018 the very first time.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
you
because
called.
you were doing you did this amazing orchestra event, playing the score of Killer Klowns from Outer Space to the movie. And we've seen it done so many times by different orchestra companies, but how you did it and how you orchestrated it and being the composer of Killer Clowns just sparked this buzz within the Killer Clown cult family. I mean, we went berserk, right, John? And I was like, I
Mhm.
gotta reach out. I gotta reach out to you and see if we can make this happen again. I mean, it's still in the works, but tell us, just tell for the new viewers out there that don't know you who you are. Who is John Massari?
Well, John Massari is a composer that ever since he was a little kid loved playing with the radio and was fascinated by music and the experience that music gives you. I was at a memorial this weekend of a wonderful lady. Um, she was she supported the arts. She was a doctor, and she was just like this wonderful, classy lady. Her name was Dr. Marguerite Marsh, and she supported so many musical causes because she really felt if there's more music in the world will be a better place. And
That's
I always
right.
felt that music, when I listened to it, just made me, I felt something. It doesn't matter what music. I mean, I used to listen to all kinds of music when I was a kid. So that need to make music and then share the experience, because my experience for music comes when I'm just creating it. And then everything else is like, it's kind of like work. And then when you sit back and you listen to like the recording and you go, okay, now I can enjoy it. Now I can get into the emotional landscape of it all. You know what I'm saying? So ever since I was a kid, I kind of wanted to do that. And so
Mhm.
every step that I took kind of led me in that direction. And
Nice.
I just got to say this. After I did that concert, about a week later, I was with my family, and we were at every 3 years I have pancakes. I don't have them all the time, but it's a big treat. So we went to this really nice pancake place, and you called and said, "Hey, I'm a producer. I want to do your show," and I was telling everyone, you know what? I got to talk to someone a little bit later on, and he wants to produce my show.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna create a friend or an enemy. It might be
What?
if he has to go through all the stuff I had to go through
I
to
know, right?
bring that show to life, he may end up, hey, regretting it, you know?
What?
But
Listen,
so
go
I
ahead.
remember
Go
when
ahead.
you said you were very enthusiastic about it, I go, "Okay, let me tell you. This is what I mapped out the steps. You're gonna have to do this, that, and the other thing." And you did. You took the
You
initiative.
you
You
mapped you gave me a lot of guidance in that, and
Yeah,
we got to someone. And I think what happened was at the time of us trying to get things moving,
that's
Killer
when
Clowns was
COVID
being,
hit.
yeah, it was being sold. MGM was being sold. Things were moving, and things got kind of complicated at that time.
Oh,
But
yeah.
but let's talk about how this all began. First of
Okay.
all, let's go back to the beginning. What was your first reaction when you were approached to compose the music for Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Oh, when I was a friend of mine, his name is Eric Young, and he was a producer. Um, he did like commercials and stuff like that, and he worked with he worked with the Kyoto brothers when
Uh-huh.
they lived in Washington D.C. And he said, and I had worked with this particular guy in a number of little projects, and he says, because and we're all fans of like Ray Harryhausen and
Mhm.
all, old kind of old horror and new horror, and my favorite thing is The Shining, um, and we shared a lot of like Forbidden Planet, Mighty Joe Young, King Kong, Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, all those big classics,
Mhm.
Um, the time machine and everything. He says, there's a movie, there's these guys that I know, they're really creative. There's these brothers, and they did this movie. And because you're a serious composer, you probably wouldn't want to do it. And he says, it's called Killer Klowns from Outer Space. And I said, are you kidding me? The title alone. And a year or two before that, I had seen a movie by Danny Elfman's brother, Richard Elfman, called Forbidden Zone. And I was just captivated by that movie. He says, I want to do a movie like that. I mean, it doesn't matter what I do in my life. If I do one movie like that, that's so bizarre. When you see it, you're basically, you see the movie and you go, what? I got to see that again. What the heck?
And you know what? And that is true, man. I mean, right. I remember seeing Killer Klowns from Outer Space. I'm like, what am I ingesting? I'm like, my eyes and ear gates were just like on flames. And I remember like, this is horror. And let me just tell you, Killer Klowns meant so much to me because it was the catalyst to make me start to love horror. I was definitely afraid of it. Nightmare on Elm Street when I was a kid. But when I got attached to Killer Klowns from Outer Space, when it was introduced to me, I don't even know how it was, but it made me feel like this is okay. This is cool. This is these aliens just trying to capture us. What would you do if an alien comes to you into your house, knocking on your door, And so I went on a tangent.
I love it. You echo so many people I've spoken to, because there's an aspect of the absolute absurd. There's imagination and creativity. And I see a little bit of magic and wonder in it too, with all the colorations that were in the movie. And when I saw it at the screening, now you have to understand, when I saw a screening, it had no music, no sound effects, except for the Dickies song. The Dickies had never seen the movie. They had never seen the movie. So they were given a sheet of paper. They were given a sheet of paper, and on the sheet of paper, basically explaining what the movie was about. And Leonard Phillips, who's really well-read Renaissance man, he truly is. He's got a knack for a metaphor and poetry and literature. He was able to just read that paragraph and come up with a song. My favorite lyric in the song is, there's cotton candy everywhere, says the polka-dotted man with a stalk of jacaranda. Now, jacaranda is a tree with pink, like, sort of at certain times of the years, it has this pinkish blue leaves and flowers that when you shake the stalk of jacaranda, it's like this mythic figure warning the world of killer. It just has such great imagery. So anyways, when I first saw the movie and I heard the song, and I said, okay, this is going to be a fun movie. Right off the bat, it's a horror movie, but it's a fun horror movie, right? They got just a kick-ass song to start it off. That's a good start. And the movie started going along. I go, okay, it's like a teen thing. And then there's that scene in the forest with that spaceship sitting there.
Yeah.
And I fell in love. I fell in love. I said, oh my God.
That was the hook.
I know where these guys are going. I know what these guys are doing. Yeah, they're elevating it, and so I wanted the music to be elevated. So we had there was a bunch of composers there that are, some of them are pretty darn famous. I'm not going to say who they were, but anyways, I focused in on one scene where the two main characters get inside the spaceship and they confront the clowns and they run off, and then the clowns march after them. So if you had to just see one scene in the movie, you kind of get what everything's about in that one scene. So I was able to do a chase, like chase music, like orchestral type chase music. Wow. And then when they got up to march slowly into the town, I said, I have the perfect piece of music for that. Years earlier, I think I was 16 going on 17, in my band, we were going to start doing original music. So I came up with this riff, and they didn't like it because they thought it sounded too jazzy. I said, I'm using that damn thing in this movie. So it worked perfectly. It worked perfectly.
No
and that's what got me the gig. So with the direction of the music for the rest of the movie, the Killers had very, very simple. They say, listen, I won't mention names, but they hate every soundtrack for every horror movie they heard around that time.
Wow.
I don't want it to sound like, and they named off the names of the movies. Definitely
Wow.
don't make it sound like so-and-so, because they had certain opinions about it. And I said, well, I'm just going to do what I think is cool. And they said, yeah, go ahead, do that. You basically have to distinguish yourself with music to create this happen. So I just went full-blown serious. That's why when you hear the orchestral version, it's basically playing all the notes that were in the synthesizer score, but it's played with an orchestra with the breathing and the phrasing and everything.
Yeah.
And when the Kyoto brothers, when I told them I was going to do live orchestra with they go, are you sure you want to do it? It's just a dumb movie. I go, no, it's not a dumb movie. Don't say that.
Which one said that? Was that Steven?
They kind of they're all on a similar wavelength. I can't tell you which one said.
Right.
They kind of agree and disagree with each other. No, they agree on things and they disagree on things in a very interesting way, and they come to a consensus. It's very interesting to hear them in a creative environment. So when they finally heard it, they go, "Oh my gosh, it looks so." It elevates the movie. It even makes it more epic. You would never think that it could sound, So, but I heard that in my heart.
Yeah.
So,
and that's what you did. You elevated it. You brought something different and new to that score to make it breathe, to make it come alive off that screen. The Dickies, they did the theme song. What was it? What was your experience working alongside of the punk band, and how did they influence the horror score?
Well, I got to be honest with you. I didn't meet them till years later.
No way.
I met him at some convention, and it's like
no way.
We're looking at each other like we're two, like, do you ever see like a wild, like a bear in the woods all of a sudden sees a mirror and it's like,
and it's like,
oh, you guys did that song.
That's really cool. You did.
You guys are like, now I remember seeing the Dickies perform, like in the 80s, because they were kind of like the West Coast. There was the Ramones on the East Coast, there was Dickies on the West Coast. So when you would go to a club somewhere and you want to hear energized punk music, which is really great, it's like raw, it's like sometimes it's out of tune, it doesn't matter, it's just so wild, everyone's playing with such conviction, you know what I mean? They know their song, they play with, and if you hear the Dickies today, they still got that energy. I've done it recently, at least 3 or 4 shows with them, and afterwards I always say, God, you guys got so much energy, man. You got so much energy, and God bless him, Leonard. He comes out, does blast the show, and then he's gone. He's home because he had saved up all of his energy,
just for that.
It out in an hour. I don't have time to talk. I'm going home now.
Right. That's seasoned. That's a seasoned artist right there.
Yeah.
That because of you doing this concert, because of you reaching out and connecting with fans, it caused this snowball effect of the Killer Klowns from Outer Space being featured at Halloween Horror Nights in Universal Studios. And being this huge push and this big bang, and where everyone's like, "Oh yeah, we love this movie," and being and experiencing the movie in like an immersive experience, like because of you and this concert and connecting with fans, it was the catalyst that kind of pushed this game where people are now. You got gamers now playing the game, because of you doing all of this. It costs so much. Please tell me, like, how has it been for you being involved with the Killer Klowns from Outer Space, I guess, world, doing live shows, theme parks, attractions, conventions? How is it like? Do you get a lot of supports from the fans?
Well, let me go. I mean, you hit them. You were like a tornado there.
I'm sorry. I have to get it out.
Let me just pick out a couple of things. You said Halloween Horror Nights. So when I heard about that, I said, I'm just going to go. I just got to go to that. I just got to be there, you know.
Mhm.
And see, even Shorty's all excited now. He's saying, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah." So so I got to talk with Michael Aiello, who was who put that on, and he said for years, he said, he confided me, he says, I gotta tell you, for years, ever since they put me in charge of doing Halloween Horror Nights, first year, Killer Klowns, never heard of it, not interested in it, you know. And he had every year he had a proposal to do an attraction there for Halloween Horror Nights in Universal Studios, and the
Mhm.
best he could get was a scare zone. Well, the
Wow.
scare zone usually is kind of like a place where
Mhm. I could find a little area
you kind of walk through to get to
through it.
somewhere else. Well,
Mhm.
this scare zone became a destination because it had music playing and they had all the characters. So people are sitting there eating food and dancing. They came up with little like every once in a while the balloon dog would pop, and so they would have a little funeral for the balloon dog and then blow up a new one. There's all kinds of wonderful things that happen. So they did
Yeah.
that. They did that, and then they did I think I want to say 2 years in a row. They did an attraction where you actually walked into it,
Yes, they do.
and then we did it over here twice. And as I understand, it was like one of the most fun, popular attractions. So
Just the music, walking through it, the clowns coming from overhead scares, the bottoms,
yeah,
the iconic scenes being reenacted in this
hmm
haunted attraction. It was so good, and I feel like you were like, because you put Killer Clowns back in the spotlight with social
hmm
media, was the
hmm
catalyst to get things rolling. That's just my
well,
opinion.
I got to tell you, what's the fun, the Halloween Horror Nights attractions for Killer Clowns. What was the most fun is seeing how much fun people were having.
Mhm.
You know, and
Yeah.
it was like, not that like, oh, this is my music, kind of thing. It was like, wow, this is what it's all about. It's about fun. It's about people having fun and a great
Yeah.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah. With the recent buzz around Killer Clowns from Outer Space remake or sequel, what's your thoughts on that? Did you hear? Because I mean, the word went out. The word went out. April, what? It was around April 15th or so. The word went out. Ryan Gosling is doing a reboot of Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Uh, what's your thoughts on that?
Hmm?
You're looking at Shorty. You're looking at Shorty.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. Okay. We're gonna just take wow. So my next question before we
Yes.
end, you have some amazing things happening in the future that's coming up. Yes.
Okay.
You want to talk about it?
Be aware of some imagery coming out
Okay.
and music coming out. Um, the 23rd of May and the 30th of May. That
Okay.
is kind of clown oriented in a very innovative and new way. And there
Wow.
you go. There's an example of one.
Okay.
So basically, I uh, um, procured. I bought the license to cover the Dickies song,
Uh-huh.
um, to Killer Clowns from Outer Space with my band. As you can see, the logo up there is JM, which just happens to stand for John Massari, but it's called JM. And in talking to the other bandmates, I said, I'd like, I think we should do our first single should be something very interesting. I came up with some ideas, and they go, we got to do a cover of Killer Clowns. I go, oh, come on, that's we can't. No, that the Dickies have stamped that. That is theirs. They
Yeah.
no, that's non persona grata. That's not someplace we should go. No, let's do it. So okay, so we didn't do one cover. We did two covers.
And we got
And
the two covers right here for you
yeah,
right now. Are you ready to listen to the covers, guys? Let's go. Make some noise, you guys. Here is the first one. It's a heavy metal rendition, correct? Correct me if
hmm
I'm wrong. Okay,
that's
let's
it.
listen to it.
Metal and then alt punk metal.
Let's check it out, guys. Here we go.
Okay.
Well, look around. What do you see? Tell me what's become of humanity. California shores to New York Times Square, Bottom and Bailey everywhere. If you've never wondered why the population's going down, blame it on the plunder from the likes of the Killer Klowns from outer space.
Whoa. First of all, I'm trying not to tear up.
It's like so 80s metal.
Yeah. And it expands into the universe of Killer Klowns from Outer Space, and it has this cool drive to it. Come on, y'all, make some noise for that. Come on, y'all.
I'll give you a little bit of a teaser. There is clown language. If you listen to the very end, you will hear clown language.
Really?
There's a word,
Okay.
there's a particular word at the very end that people will know if they're big fans of the movie. They'll
So
know.
listen, you guys.
That's clown talk.
So before we go and we talk about that, or I want to play the other track. This is an alternative, right? This is like
alt metal punk.
Okay. All right, let's check it out. Here we go, guys.
Oh, look around, what do you see? Tell me what's become of humanity. Oh my God, from California shores to New York Times Square, Bottom and Bailey everywhere.
Whoa.
So
Okay.
Shorty was going in the mosh pit.
Yeah. John, I just want to say thank you so much for the time. Thank you for your creation and being a part of this amazing cult classic. Where can we find you and what's next for you other than the release of these 2 tracks?
Well, we're gonna after that. There's probably like every few weeks. There's gonna be a single coming out. I have a horror album of just pure horror music that I wrote over the years. Some of them are from a variety of projects that I kind of like did variations, independent variations, and drew, where I was asked to do 30 seconds. Well, I drew it out to like 5 minutes kind of thing. And that's called The 13th Fall. That's coming out Friday the 13th in June.
In June. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay.
And if you go to my Facebook, you'll see some video renderings of the album cover that are kind of creepy.
All right. And where can we follow you? On
you
Instagram?
Can follow me on all Instagram, on the gram, on the X, on the face, on the tick and the talk.
Okay. Let's go.
You can all reach me on all of those if you want to send
Let's go, guys. At John Massari. Am I saying it right? Because
that's it. It's like Massari, like with an M. Right.
Okay. John, it was a pleasure having you on our show today. You guys, and not only that, the cool thing about it is it's the anniversary of not only
Happy anniversary.
Thank you, but also of the Killer Klowns from Outer Space. So you guys, thank you guys for tuning in and watching our interview, and enjoy Killer Klowns from Outer Space. Woo!